Hi, and welcome to the Passionate Spinner podcast. This is episode 180-ish. Not sure, but I'm Tracy. I'm sure about that. So I have a lot of things to show to you today. I have quite a few things on my needles, and I also have two finished knitting objects that I can show you because I still have them. Now, I don't quite remember what I showed last time because it's been a while, but I have my next design ready. You know, it's been with testers and I'm going to release the pattern next week. So I'm going to show you now what I have come up with. And I made another bag and it looks like this. So this is one of the versions that I made. I still don't know what to call this one. But it's a bag. It's super easy to knit. It's going to be any yarn, any gauge, any needle size, any size you want to make pattern. So, and like I said, this is version number 2 of the ones that I made. And I knit that out of Gründel Cotton Fun yarn on a 4mm needle. The other bag I made, I still need to weave in the ends, but this is the other version that I have. Let's hold it up like that. And it's significantly bigger. I knit this also on a 4mm needle out of sock yarn held double. So as you can see, like I said, the any size, any gauge thing. It's the same needle size. This is probably the same gauge, but it's a totally different size. So that is going to come next week, or as soon as I find a name for it, you know. So these things are finished. I think that's it for finished. I also, last time, I'm pretty sure, I showed you a blue bucket hat that I was crocheting. And as soon as that was finished, it went to my child and never came back. So I cannot show that to you because I have absolutely no clue where it is. So let's just work with what's actually happening right now. So knitting in the present. I'm going to start, I have everything next to me. I'm just going to pick up what's on top, you know. So the first thing in this project bag, it's one of the oldest project bags I have, and it is from Zigzag Stitches. I've had this forever and I love it. So in here is my next design that I am working on. I am going to give you a bit of a preview here. So I need to make sure not to mess things up because this is 3 colors, right? And I am doing 3-color color work because I'm an idiot. I hate doing 3-color color work. Somehow I end up designing things that do 3 colors at once a lot. And by a lot, I mean it's the second time, but you know. So here's a teeny tiny start to something that I am working on now. The yarn that I'm using is Rico Designs Baby Merino. And this yarn comes in 25 gram skeins, which is very convenient because this is going to be a small project, you know, and being able to get yarn in tiny amounts is just perfect for this. So I'm not gonna talk more about it. It's a new design. I started it. I'm gonna work on this today. So very happy about that. Next, we have the sweater. So in my last podcast episode, or I think it was the studio vlog actually, I kept telling you about the Lotte sweater that I was knitting, only to realize later when I was about to link the pattern that it's not called Lotte at all. It's called Ilona. It's very different, but it is the sweater with the holes. And this is the back piece. So I started the back. I have both of the sleeves finished. And here they are. They look like this. Yeah, I'm gonna just make the back out of half of what I had left after the sleeves, and then I will do the front out of the other half, you know. Very, very simple. And I have put up a very short tutorial on how to do these 1-row buttonholes because that's what these are. The pattern is free on the Novita website, I think in Swedish and Norwegian. I'm not quite sure. And it is also in this Burna knitting magazine, this one here. number 323. So that one. And yeah, it's zooming along, you know. It's one of those projects. I thought it's going to be super annoying to make all of those buttonholes, but it's garter stitch. So it's kind of like every time I'm starting to get bored because of the garter stitch, I have to do that buttonhole row, and it's just long enough so that by the end you're like, oh my God, when is this ending? And then you're done. And then you can do a bit of knitting again without any thoughts involved. So it's kind of nice. It's a bit of potato chippy, you know? Just one more. It's perfect. And yeah, the yarn I'm using, I will not recommend to you. I can show you. It looks like this. It is, I don't really like it. I'm still gonna tell you what it is. It is Silda Hawthorne Tweed. And I'm not the biggest fan of it because it doesn't feel nice. You know, it feels a bit plasticky. And I don't mind acrylic blends, you know, otherwise I wouldn't have bought it. But I didn't anticipate the feel of it knit up, and it's just not as nice as I had hoped. Let's just say it like that. Okay, next. Oh, I didn't show the project bag, right? This is in a bag that I got at Swiss Yarn Festival from Rosario's, and it's really pretty. Now, next. In this beautiful bag from Mad Bird, I have a project that took quite the turn. So I'm going to show you what I have first, right? And then I will tell you its story. So I have this, which doesn't look like a lot, but this is a skirt. And this started out as a pair of tights that I was to self-design, self-engineer, not writing a pattern, you know, just making one up for myself. Because I like wearing skirts, and in winter, you know, it gets cold where I live. So I need warm tights. And I thought, hey, you're a knitter. You can do that. So what I had done was the folded neckband. It's not a neckband. The folded waistband. I had that done. I made that, you know, just like a generic folded waistband. I knit 10 rounds, I think. I did a purl round so it would fold easier. Knit another 10 rounds and then knit everything together with a cast on edge so it creates that fold. I left a bit of an opening. Can you see here? It's not attached here, so you can insert an elastic easier. And also, you know, elastic tends to just stretch out over time and you need to replace it. So sewing a waistband completely shut is never a good idea because then you cannot replace that elastic. And also, if you gain weight or lose weight, you know, you need to adjust stuff. So it's just, I would never, ever close it completely. So I had done that, and then I knit a few rounds after that. And when I picked this up last week, I was like, I don't know about this. I don't know if I want to knit tights anymore. What else could I do? And then I decided to do a skirt because I already had that folded waistband, you know? I held it onto my body. I was like, yeah, I'm still going to fit into that. Because let's face it, when I started these, I was a bit less. There was less Tracy. But now it would still fit. But then I had those few rows already knit. And then I looked up patterns for skirts that I already had. And I decided to go with the Stumble skirt pattern. I did not print it out because I just looked at it on my phone. But so what I am basically knitting now is the Stumble skirt. And I do not know the designer. But I had to rip back those few rows that I had done, you know, the few rounds after. So I inserted my needle down where I needed it to be. I also did a reel for that. Sorry, it's a coffee maker. So yeah, I ripped it back and then I did all of the increases that needed to be done. And now I have like a gazillion stitches on the needles and I need to knit straight down until I, you know, for the length of the skirt that I want. And I'm not sure what the pattern does in the end, but I think I want to do a folded hem as well, only like a few rows. I'm not sure. I want something that will lay flat So there will be no garter stitch edge because that flips up. Maybe an I-cord. Will an I-cord lay flat? Because I don't want it to roll. I don't know yet, but it doesn't matter. There's a bit of time left because this is not covering stuff yet. So I am knitting a skirt. Now, the important part. The yarn that I'm using is Lana Grossa Meilen White Tweed. And the colorway is 155. And it's just a really pretty olivey green with these white and light blue tweed nap bits in it. So I just think that is going to be a very nice autumn and winter skirt, Will I wear it this autumn and winter? Probably not. But my phone is ringing and I have to stop. It was not important. But as I didn't know that it wouldn't be important, I had to go to the phone and now I have to edit this video, which I don't want to do because it's extra work, but it's fine. So we talked about the stumble skirt. Now let's move on. I have 2 more projects and they are both in here. My pride and joy. I'll talk about this a little bit after. I uploaded a complete video about it, but you know what? I'm gonna talk about it again. Okay, now in here are 2 project bags that will come out of here now, but I had them in there for traveling. Come out. Okay. Now, in this project bag here, from, is there a label? Not really, just washing instructions. Okay, now in here I have the Agnes vest, which is a crochet vest created out of granny squares. I still need 7 more granny squares before I can start assembling, but these are my granny squares. These are the colors I'm using, and I am using another color to assemble, and this is the one I chose. Because I want to keep this quite neutral, so I think this is a great color. It will be used for assembling, and then the neckline, the hem around the armholes, that's going to be knitted in 2x2 rib out of this as well. So I think this is going to be great. This is also the same yarn that I used for the bag, the cream colored one. So yeah, I'm really happy with this. I think it's going to be really cool. Very different from what I usually make for myself, because of the neutral colors and the not colorful stuff. But I'm loving it. So that is in there. And in here, one of the first project bags I ever made, I have a pair of socks. And this is the pair of socks that I started so I could film the tutorials for the sock pattern. And I haven't done a lot of it. It's shorty socks. They were, they were a custom order. Also, my needles were like super close to the edge here. Okay, they are a custom order that I am working on right now. And yeah, I haven't done a lot. This yarn is Regia, I'm pretty sure. Do I have a label? Do I? I do. So this is Regia, cotton, Java color, whatever. And I am just using, my vanilla sock pattern. It's called the 401 and it's free on Ravelry. So I'm doing shorty socks, and I did the cast on and the, how to cast on DPNs tutorial using this, and also how to knit the heel. So yeah, this is the last of the started things on my needles. And go away. Okay, now it's been put away. Okay, that's the knitting part. I do not have spinning because every year after Tour de Fleece there's this 3-month hole where it just don't touch a spinning wheel. but I have sewing. Now, I showed this already in the separate video that I did. I just want to show it again because I'm so happy with it. This is my bag, and it is a firefly tote. The pattern is by Noodlehead. Now let's do it like this, right? Drawstring it up and then hold it up. So I am super happy with it. So this is mine. This is the firefly tote by Noodlehead. It comes in 2 sizes. This is the large size. It also comes in a project bag size that is a bit smaller. But I'm just happy. So this here, the front pocket, is done using freehand machine embroidery. And the flowers are one continuous line, which makes me very proud and very happy that I was able to do that, because I had to rearrange the hoop while doing it because this is too big. When you do freehand machine embroidery, what you need to do, you need to put in a embroidery foot. You need to take down the little feet, you know, the transporter thingy, and you have to put your fabric into an embroidery hoop, and then you have to do basically this. But the only embroidery hoop that I could find easily was too small to fit the whole motif, so I could only do 2 flowers at once. And then somewhere here I had to rearrange the embroidery hoop while having the needle stuck in my fabric so it couldn't move, and then I could continue on. So that was a bit of a, not a struggle, but you know, it could have been easier. But yeah, I did that. I did all of these freehand embroidery with the sewing machine as well. And I'm super happy with it. I put 2 pins on. This one was a gift, and this one I got at the festival that I went to, which I'm going to talk about later. And yeah, I'm just so happy with it. Okay, now the other thing, because I talked about this before, you know, so if you want to know more about this bag and the 3 other bags that I made for my friends, check out the other video. So the next thing I have to show for you for sewing is already packaged, because this is a custom order that will get picked up later today. And it is a birthday crown for a kid. This is the first one I made. It's probably going to be the last one I made because this shit was fiddly. I mean, so here it is. It says Geburtstagskind, which means birthday child. In English, you say birthday boy or birthday girl. In Germany, you just say birthday kid, right? There's no distinction. So here we have this. Now, I did this not freehand. This was done with my embroidery machine. But the thing is, I have the smallest size, so I can only embroider 10 by 10 centimeters or 4 by 4 inch square. So this was the biggest I could get in. Okay, so I had to do this in 3 different chunks, and I decided to go for different colors to make it a bit more fun, and different fonts as well. All of these are different. Even though these look kind of similar, they are different ones. So I did the first one, worked out great. Did the second one, managed to keep it in line and with a nice, you know. And then did the third one, having to rearrange the embroidery hoop all the time. Had it at the same height, you know, everything the same. But I don't know if it's because of the font that I picked, it just started up way higher. I was like, oh, fuck, what am I gonna do now? And then luckily a friend was over and she's like, just do a bit of a, you know, something extra underneath and it will, you know, even it out. So I did that. I used one of the stitches, the what is it? Decorative stitches on the sewing machine here. And to make it look intentional, I did another bit here. So yeah, this is it. It's made out of fabric, of course. It has Velcro, so you can adjust the size to the head, and it will be able, you know, they will be able to use it for a few years, hopefully. But this was not fun to make. I'm gonna have to be honest here that I did not enjoy this. Not fun. But I did it, you know, it's done now. It was a custom order for a, let's call her knitting acquaintance. And yeah, it's finished. You know, it's not hard to do. It wasn't hard. It was just super fiddly, and the embroidery just, yeah, well, it's also not as, you know, it puckers a bit. I'm not happy with it. I sent her pictures. She's happy with it, so that's good. But it's not, I'm not happy with that. But that happens, right? Not everything we create turns out perfect. At least not for me. If it does for you, great. It doesn't for me. So what else do I have to tell you? Oh, right. New stuff. There's a lot of new stuff. And there's so much new stuff that I'm going to do a separate video. Because I went to a knitting festival. I went to Knit Eat in Lyon in France last weekend. And I'm going to do a separate video telling you all about that. Then, you know, like for me, probably in 20 minutes. For you, whenever you watch the other video. So, yeah, I'm doing that separate. I have nothing else to show for new stuff, for reading, listening, watching. I actually did start reading again an actual book. I've only been reading nonfiction over the summer. 2 books, you know, it's not like I read a lot. I haven't been reading since March. But I started a romance novel called The Pumpkin Spice Cafe. I'm on page 70. Nothing happened yet. So I don't know. I mean, stuff happened, but not in the romance department. So it's nice. It's a nice read so far. But I have like 220 pages to go. So I don't really know what's going to happen. Listening. I'm only listening to music. I haven't listened to podcasts or anything, or audiobooks. You know, I never listen to podcasts. I don't even know why I said that. But I haven't been listening to audiobooks at all. So there's nothing to tell you there. And watching, I also haven't watched anything. It's been months since I watched something real, you know? So there's nothing to report there. Which leaves me with everything else. The next VKN, which stands for Virtual Knit Night, which is, you know, a bunch of people meeting over Zoom, knitting and talking, is this Saturday. So today's Thursday. It's in 2 days. And it's always at 9 p.m. Berlin time, right? Because that's the easiest. That's the time we found that works for most people. So if you want to join that, there are links to that Zoom meeting up in the Ravelry group. I will probably forget to post a new one, but it doesn't matter because it's always the same. So just whatever you find, click on it. And the same goes for Discord. I have posted it over there several times in the general thread. I know it's not called thread. I don't remember what it's called on Discord, but it doesn't matter. If you go to the general thingy, you can find a link to the VKN Zoom meeting there as well. So just join. And then what else? I think that's it. Mental health talk is usually my last bit. And if you've been around for a while, you know that 2023 was not the best year for me so far. I mean, I had some really great things happen, like last weekend, which was amazing. And right now I feel great. But it's been very, very, very much like this all year. And I'm not going to get into it now because I don't want to. I'm feeling great today. So let's go with that. Okay. I think that's it. That's all I have to tell you. I am going to see you again for the Knit Eat recap. And then for the pattern release of the bag, if I can find a name for it. If you have an idea, leave it please in the comments so I can see it, because I have absolutely no idea. And then I am going to say goodbye to you. I hope you all had a wonderful time. I hope you're feeling great, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.